Hi friends, it's Adam, the crippled cannabis cowboy. What I know about MS, or actually I should say, what I'm learning about MS. I talk real funny, so don't mind it. Thanks for watching my video on the different avenues, I guess, and the mentalities behind them. Well, my version of it, if that makes any fucking sense. If you enjoy my content, then subscribe to my channel and help me spread the word a little bit. There's different degrees of multiple sclerosis. Once again, this is just what I know or I'm learning. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on any of this. But I have the rare one, which is PPMS, primary progressive multiple sclerosis. I don't know. There's versions of multiple sclerosis. Sclerosis. However, there are variations of these different degrees that you hit in multiple sclerosis. Like I've just learned that there's new words that have been added. If you go back fucking, decades ago, there's a lot of shit we didn't know. So now we're learning all this stuff. That brings me to my point on medications and the way you look at this, like the mentality of this freaking debilitating disease. Now, if you have the rare one, like I do, I happen to know several people that have multiple sclerosis and different degrees of multiple sclerosis. Of primary progressive MS, I actually only know of 3 people that have it. I'm much later in my MS journey, and they're fairly new. One isn't so new, maybe 3 years. The other is like a year into PPMS. I'm pushing 6 years. Actually, I should be 6 years in now. And I noticed everyone has their own opinions on medications and what they do and the different degrees of MS, and the variations of those. Like me, for example, this is just some honesty shooting from the hip. I've tried all the medications that there are so far. I've had the infusions. I've had crazy, ridiculous things, and chemo, IVIG, plasmapheresis, fucking Ocrevus, but there's a lot of them, and that's just the infusion part. There's a whole nother medication thing, and I have to be careful with all of those because any of those styles of introducing medications to treat me, I have bad side effects. There are certain reasons why I can't mess with those medications because of the side effects that affect me. Now, there's other people that I know of that take some of the medications and they're fine. However, then there's the mentality behind it. Like, I'm one of those crazy ass people that I would rather, because I've tried and I've felt all this other shit, I would rather drive the train until it crashes. I don't want it to crash under somebody else's circumstances. I've heard too many freaking horror stories. Ozzy Osbourne's one of them. Just nothing against the medical people, but there's a lot of artificial hope in figuring out what the fuck is wrong with us. Me in particular, I'm the autoimmune side of it. There's all kinds of sides, maybe they figure out how to fix cancer And this is just like another fucking cancer, this autoimmune issue that's building. So it goes so many directions. It's everyone is different, and this disease is going to affect everyone differently. So if you have MS, say you have RRMS or SP, don't panic. There's hope. There's things you can do. If you happen to be in my boat, then yeah, that fucking sucks. Do as much as you can and enjoy as much as you can. As much as you can. That was actually told to me from Mr. Vizeo. He's like some eye guy or whatever, and he said that. He spotted this. I was way different. I could still walk when he was talking to me. But he said, hey, do what you like as much as you like right now. And I remember hearing those words and I was kind of like, holy shit, he's serious. My mom was sitting right there. I didn't understand that this is what I was in for. Good thing I got my bucket list out of the way. I've done so much shit that I might have completed 2 bucket lists. I mean, it wasn't really anything that was on my agenda of this bucket list shit. But looking back at my past, I've really done a lot of things. I've traveled all over the fucking country. I've seen all kinds of shit. I've trained, done martial arts, learned how to kill and destroy people, learned how to grapple gently and nicely with people. Oh my God, I've done so many things that I was a teacher, I was a coach, it's an incredible journey. My journey was incredible. This MS thing fucking sucks. And just because you have a lighter degree of it doesn't mean you won't experience these sucks. But if you're like me and you have this PPMS thing, then holy shit, yeah, your life fucking sucks. My medication styles, believe it or not, I have several out there on the table, but I don't take them. I'm strictly a cannabis guy, and I love cannabis in all different kinds of compounds like CBD, CBN, CBG, THC. Growing it actually is the most beneficial for me because it keeps me out of bed. Because having MS will make you want to just stay in bed, particularly if you have PPMS. So I force myself to take care of my plants like it's a responsibility, so I can get some kind of physical activity in the day. It depends on how long you want to draw this out. It's because of my gender and how old I am, and there's a lot of factors. Developing PPMS, most MS is not lethal. Even mine, PPMS, is not lethal. However, I would rather it be lethal, if that makes any sense, because looking at where my train goes, it's in a fucking bed. I'm drooling over myself anyway. I can't move, and that's not something I want to tolerate for a long time. So, like I said, everybody's different, and everyone can have their own cake. I have my cake, and holy shit, that sucks.